Hi, this is Andi Kravljaca from Bioplan, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast. This is the best amp I've ever played through.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, I remembered. Hey, that's my partner, Rena, as well.
Hi, Rena.
Hey, dude. Hi, Andy. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for inviting me back after I, missed our last appointment completely. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
With Bruce, you only get one chance, eh? That's
I know. I was fully expecting that, like, okay, this is it, and that was my first impression, and I can never have that back.
Right. Usually, I'm the dick, and Rena begged to have you back on, so we did it.
Right. Kiitos.
You're welcome. Ole hyvä. Actually, it's true though, because like I was kind of bummed when you had to cancel. And you did a no-show. I can't remember if you canceled or just...
I didn't cancel. I was in the kitchen cooking. Right. And I just lost track of time. And then Tom got in touch with me like the next day, and he was like, hey, the guys told me you did a no-show. And I'm like, oh, shit. That was...
I'm just going to tell you, that's like a make or break thing, though, because we make or break artists here on this show.
Yeah.
We make or break them in Iceland specifically.
Iceland and New Zealand were charting for some reason. I don't know how we get to those zones, but we'll take
Unbelievable.
it.
Yeah, totally charting in those two countries, both of which I love. Will accept any invitation to visit.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. We can do a Brutally Delicious on the road in Iceland.
Right, with Rena.
Solstice and all the good stuff.
We could do it live on location from the glacier.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Let's go to what's those things like?
We'll take our huge budget and hire a camera crew and fly them out with
one
lighting.
of those like public baths or saunas. Don't they have those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Those
and you can
springs.
Plus you can do so much cool stuff with the geysers and everything.
Mud on our faces and nothing else, and we'll do the show.
Exactly.
I'm so in. I love this plan. It's perfect. Totally not a scam to get me naked.
But what happens when my third nipple comes out? That's the question.
Wow. I keep learning of my boys, Bruce and Chris. Some things I like to know, some things I don't.
Right.
So where are you located, Andy?
I'm in sunny Stockholm, Sweden, which for the moment is experiencing quite the heat wave. And, we're having some great summer weather.
Oh, okay. We have to ask you, what's the temperature?
Here we
go. Temperature right now is, I believe it's 26 degrees Celsius, which whatever that is in your imperial.
Yeah, it's 26 degrees Celsius in real temperature.
Exactly.
That's about 79 Fahrenheit, I think.
Celsius makes 0 sense.
No.
It makes a lot of sense if you're water, because at 0 it's frozen, and at 100 it boils. So if you view it from the perspective of a water molecule, it makes great sense. And since we're about 70% water, it should make about 70% sense for us.
Andy, nobody asked for your 2 cents, Andy.
I like this guy. How often can we have him on? Can he come on every week?
Nobody asked you at all, Andy. I was just stating a fact. Celsius makes it.
We are friendly to our guests here. We make sure their feelings don't get hurt. We want to soothe your soul and just, bring good things into your life. And mostly we fail. But,
everyone gets a trophy.
No, but like I said, I was bummed of that no-show, you little shit, because the music is nice. I've gone to the gym a lot of times listening to your shit. Tell us more about it. So everybody.
Thanks a lot. I get that. I get that a couple of times. I must have nailed some kind of workout BPM or something, because there's been quite a few people that were like, this is the music that gets me through those last crucial reps, which is really cool, because I grew up listening to a lot of training montage music, obviously, being a child of the 1980s. So it's nice to kind of give back to that. No, but there's not a lot to tell. I opened a valve on the side of my head, and this is the stuff that came out from that valve. And I guess it comes from, all the music I used to listen to when I was younger, a lot of synthesizer music, which mainly is due to my mom, who got me into Jean-Michel Jarre and stuff like that. And a lot of metal music, which is mostly due to my dad, who got me into Guns N' Roses and stuff like that. So you meld that together and yeah, you get Bioplan.
Nice.
That is brilliant.
That was
brilliant.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry,
That is probably the best 15-second elevator pitch we've ever had on this show.
Yes.
We need to add it. We need to add on this podcast a bell that goes ding ding, and then on the screen, best elevator pitch ever in the history of the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Achievement unlocked. Well, thank you very much.
Because we often ask bands, give us a 15-second elevator pitch, and they're like, that's it. That's their elevator pitch. So that was good.
And like Bruce usually says boardroom pitch.
Yes.
I don't think people even know what an elevator pitch is or where it comes from. Like, do you, Danny, know Andy? I'm Danny. I'm sorry.
Danny knows. It's like when you're in the elevator and you're in the elevator with the same guy who's going to the penthouse, or actually in Sweden, it's the 11th floor. All of the top CEOs are on the 11th floor because the 11th floor is the maximum height that a ladder truck from the fire department will reach. So they will never go above the 11th floor because they want to get out. And they will send their minions above the 11th floor so they can die, in peace in the fire. So basically, you get in the elevator with the CEO and you're like, I have this great idea. And I know he's only going to the 11th floor. It's going to take him 45 seconds. I have 45 seconds to tell him my idea. And then he's gone forever. I'm never going to see him again. Perfect. And so there you go. That's your elevator pitch.
Bingo. And that was the best explanation of that. I've also, you should be doing this for a living. You should be pitching ideas to clients. You should be the one writing Wikipedia articles and just, doing.
Well, I do other things. I do other things besides this stuff behind me. So I work as a future strategist and a public speaker. So thanks a lot.
Oh, you do work as a public speaker. Okay.
I do. Yeah.
This makes sense then. This makes sense. I was like,
Rena tried to stump you and you ended up stumping her.
Well,
I got put in my place and I deserved it.
And I got called a little shit 5 minutes ago. So it was just my way of giving back.
And you deserve that. So,
I did. I totally did. The stir fry was awesome, though.
So have you ever been on a podcast where the host called you or an interview where the host called you a little shit?
No, I can't say. I can't say that I have, but it's nice for a change. The tone of the conversation is raw, but there's a lot of heart in it.
Do you guys know each other?
I love it. I see that you that you work with public speaking and how to put it nicely. That what you're doing is pathetic, but there's a lot of heart in it. So.
Bless them, they do try.
Yeah. I'm going to review your podcast. It's a little rough around the edges.
A lot of heart in it, so it makes up for it. That is like the nicest way to say, just like, "Oh, bless your soul." That is just,
nice try.
It's not going to happen, but let me just stroke your hair and hold your hand.
But what do you need my 2 cents for? You guys are trending in Iceland and New Zealand. You got it made on opposite sides of the globe.
Don't you forget it.
Hey man, we've been shared on Blabbermouth. All right, that's how famous we are.
That's amazing.
Oh, really?
I actually like to call us the Lucky
multiple
Rabbits.
Times.
People do the show and then they sell millions when they, after it airs.
Why don't I know about that? What the hell?
About Blabbermouth?
Podcast, because I do too, and the other one is about mental health, and we got mentioned in Seisk, the biggest yellow press gossip shit magazine in Finland. I'm like, all right, my career is done.
You've arrived.
Got my name in Seisk.
Watch out for the paparazzi. They're coming for you.
Almost there, because we had a very famous actor as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just extracted the least interesting information from that podcast to that gossip story, as in oh, look at Kari Ketonen had trouble making a movie because someone got COVID, and we were also talking about how he's also a psychotherapist with a history of his own and mental health, and gave concrete advice on how to handle anxiety and what happens in your brain. But no, someone in his movie had COVID and they had to postpone for 2 weeks, and that's the news. And then, so stupid.
So let's talk about
what an idea.
Yeah, let's talk about the band. Let's talk about Arcade Dreams. It's been out for what, a couple months now. What's been the response to it so far?
The reviews have been really nice. Obviously, it's a pretty niche piece of music, so Bioplan is never going to sell millions. It's an instrumental album full of quite difficult music. It's jazz, it's synth, it mixes a lot of genres and a lot of influences and so on. But for the genre, the response has been great. So rather than looking to sell 50,000 units, but at least we're getting some stuff on Spotify. We're getting some interest. It's garnering me other work on the side, as a guitar player, which was the point with Bioplan, really. So yeah, the response has been great, and we'll see what the future holds. Hopefully we'll get to make a couple more. Nice.
Did you record this yourself at home?
That's correct. I recorded it with using this thing at home. My Soldano SL30 for anybody listening to the audio. So yeah, everything is recorded here in my house. I play all of the instruments except drums because I don't have a drum kit here. So I program the drums as a lot of people do, but all the keyboards are played analog style. All the guitars are played analog style, the bass, everything.
Wow. Analog style. You mean no edits?
I do mean as far as, as much as we can do, no edits. I mean, sometimes you have to do it, but yeah, I mean, try to get through it and try to make it as true to the period as possible. So the idea of this was to make a record that sounds like it was made in the 1980s, which is why it has that mid-forward sound and a lot of open filter synthesizers and everything. It doesn't have that modern metal tone and everything.
You know what?
So,
I caught that as soon as I heard this song. I was like, this song has like that mixed on NS10s in the 1980s sound.
There you go.
That's the first thing I thought of. And I know that's going to go over a lot of listeners' heads, but that's the first thing I was like, this sounds like NS10s in 1980. That was, and I was like, that's really interesting that you said that. You brought that up, that mid-forward sound.
Yeah, and I've been working with a great guy. His name is Rich Gray. Works in Cambridge. We used to be in a band together called Aeon Zen, and we've known each other for 15 years, and and the guy knows me, so he mixed the record for me. He sent me back like one mix, and there was like 2 comments, and that's it. He destroyed it because he knew exactly what I was looking for and everything. So we used a lot of period correct stuff, period correct guitars, old Jacksons, period correct amplifiers, period correct speakers, T75s, drum machine was a Roland 909, Oberheim synths, all that stuff.
Wow. I imagine this music would lend itself towards a soundtrack or movies or TV, even stuff from the, that time period.
I think so, yeah, and eventually it would be really cool to branch out into doing licensed work like that, to do stuff for anything from commercials to indie games to stuff like that.
Yeah, like even Stranger Things.
Right. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in that? I mean, that band Metallica, they it looks like they're going to make it. I mean, it's like, they gave them a break there,
Totally. They finally got their big break.
Yeah, I mean, did they ever make it out of the clubs? Who knows?
Imagine if Kate Bush was never discovered. Thank God for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I think it would lend itself to that for sure.
Absolutely. So that is one of the things I would love to do in the future. Unfortunately, those aren't the kind of opportunities which you can kind of create for yourself. You have to collaborate with other makers of other forms of media. And, if I can do that, I will definitely do it in the future, because I've done a little bit of it before, but nothing really super serious.
I'm raising my hand because I want to interject. I have advice on how to do that because I used to do that.
That's amazing.
So what you need to do is you need to find a composer, somebody who works specifically writing music for film or television. Mm-hmm. And then you create a relationship with them and you send them MP3s, because a lot of people think that composers write every piece of music that goes into a film, but they do not. So there's music directors and there's composers, but oftentimes, like on lower budget stuff like Hallmark movies or horror movies and stuff like that, the composer is the music director. And they'll often be like, oh, I need a metal track here. And they'll just go through their library of tracks from people they know and trust. And they'll toss that in. And the money you make from film and TV is not upfront money. It's royalty money, and it keeps coming in all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
So that's the way you have to get in. And I only say that because when I was trying to get into that, no one would ever help me figure it out. Never. Until I started being a recording engineer for film and TV. And I started working with a composer. And I started seeing what he was doing. And I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. This is all I have to do? Is just create a relationship with someone and send them music? And maybe they use it, maybe they don't. But hey, you get one song in. Like, I got one, well, I shouldn't go off on this, but I played one note on a keyboard of a cello, and then it went to a second note. It lasted a minute. And I make about $500 US a quarter from those two notes.
That's unbelievable. If I knew that, I wouldn't have played this many notes on Bioplan, because I think I put all of them in there.
Yeah.
All of the notes, right.
So anyways, you could get your music easily into film and TV. Trust me, it sounds good enough, and it's fucking killer. So that's my
awesome. Thanks so much for the tip. That means a lot, because obviously when you don't have a lot of inroads into this, you actually don't know how to make these things happen, which is why, any advice that like the one you have is amazing. So thanks a lot.
Is this something that you might take on the road or do live at all, or is this strictly just studio stuff?
If I put this on the road, I would have to hire like 7 keyboard players, and I would have to hire 3 guitar players, and I would have to, they would have to learn this stuff, because there's so much going on in this music that if you took the lead guitar out, there would still be 17 things you can keep track of,
right?
Because there's a lot of synth going on. So it would have to be like a totally boiled down version of like 4 tracks and bass, drum, guitar, and I'm not sure it would work then. Or it would have to be the fully fleshed out thing, at which point it would be 75% backing tracks, and then why are you doing it live?
Right.
So I don't think that the palette of music kind of lends itself to a live situation, but it definitely would lend itself to exactly the stuff you were mentioning before.
Okay.
So what's the plan with the record then?
Well, I actually, I've been a singer in bands for about 17 years now, since the first Seventh Wonder record. And I never chose to be a singer. I never really wanted to be a singer. I became a singer because I played guitar and sang in a band, and I discovered, much to my chagrin, that I do not have the talent to do both of those things well at the same time. So it was either do 2 things with mediocrity or do one thing very well. And unfortunately for me, metal singers are kind of hard to find. Whereas guitar players are, you put a plate of cookies on your driveway overnight, and in the morning there'll be like 15 or 16 of them going like, this sound ain't working for me, man. And so they're so easy to discover. So it just became like, okay, well, I'll sing then, and then we'll get a guitar player. And you start singing, you put out an album as a singer, more singing work comes your way. Meanwhile, I've been playing guitar for 27 years. And I don't have a body of work to show for it. So when I go to producers and I go like, hey, can I play guitar on your record? Well, what have you done? Right. Well, I haven't done anything. I've played guitar for 27 years. Well, put out an album and we'll see. So it was like, it was this attempt to just like put myself out there as a guitar player and say, hey guys, I can do this too. I've been doing this for decades, and how about it? And so on. So the ultimate goal of Bioplan, I guess, is to make itself obsolete and to put me in a situation where I can be in either a band or a project as a guitar player and take aspects of Bioplan and put that into my playing style in whatever record or band or project I'm in.
Nice.
That makes sense.
That's really cool. I love the pragmatic approach.
It's a very Swedish approach. We make a plan and then we stick to the plan. It's a 5-year plan.
Yes. Then you put on your jacket and go outside.
Exactly.
When you first started talking, I assumed you were an American.
I am not. No, I was born in Bosnia-Herzegovina. I came to Sweden when I was 10 years old during the war in Bosnia back when. But my father was a professor of English, and when I was a kid, he grew up. He basically raised me bilingual because he figured like if you know English, there isn't going to be a door that's locked to you for the rest of your life. And smartest decision he ever made, because honestly, it's opened so many doors for me in life.
That's great.
That seems to be a common thing in Europe, where so many people learn English as well as like, like my friend Andy speaks 5 languages. He's from Switzerland, Speaks
Well,
5
Switzerland is a great
languages.
place because they're on so many borders that you get Italian, you get French, you get German, you get Schweizerdeutsch, you get all kinds of really cool dialects and everything. So yeah, I don't have a hard time believing that at all.
Yeah, it blows my mind. Although it annoys me because when you phone him, you get his answering machine. It's like, "Hi, you've reached Andy Pillar. Please leave a message." But in every fucking language that's there,
Nice.
Okay, that's just elitist bullshit. Cut him out of real life.
Nice.
I'm kidding. I'm sure you're super nice. Dude Miller, what was your name?
Anyway.
Yeah.
That is all I had. Did we miss anything you want to cover?
No. I mean, just give the stuff a whirl and let it help you through those last crucial vinegar reps that you need to get your workout done. And come and see me about guitar playing anywhere you want. I'm on all the social media, and let's talk amps and tubes and pentodes and triodes and sweep picking and whatever you guys want.
Okay, so before we go, what about the world's huge tube shortage right now?
I know, right? This is where you're happy you don't have a Randall Satan that has like 7 12 AX7s in the preamp, and you can have like this one only has 2, this Marshall, and that just makes me like super happy. But yeah, be careful with those tubes, man, because it's going to be a couple of years before they're back in stock.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, that's all I had to say. Sorry.
Yeah, the more you know.
The more you know.
Chris got to drop the nerd stuff in. Sweet.
Awesome.
You should have said, like, this is Andy, the little shit, and I'm not going to try and pronounce your last name.
We're going to insult you right till the very end.
I'll tell you what it means. Kravljaca it's a nom de guerre from the late 14th century, the Battle of Kosovo. It means milk bucket.
Nice.
So that's the last name. That's my family name. So
Andy,
there you go.
That's sexy. We also had a guy whose name was Vagina. So.
Well, there you go. There you go.
So milk bucket, close second.
I forgot about that guy. That whole podcast went so far off the rails. It became vagina, and then I don't even know.
Yeah, they'll never come back.
They never will.
I hope you will, though, because you're a great guest.
Thanks a
but
lot.
You're
when is
going
this out?
to be here every single week now. But yeah.
Anytime you will have me. When is this out?
I'm not sure. I can send you an email. I got to go through the schedule. I know we've got a lot in the queue.
Excellent.
But
All right. So just keep in touch, and you guys have a great day. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, be well, my friend.
Did you do the bumper already? Did
No.
I miss it?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, do the bumper.
No, he did.
This is why
Where have
I'm
you
here.
been?
One take, destroyed it. Come on.
We did it.
Did they do it?
Rena, what are you smoking over there?
How much does she pay attention to what's going on here? Rena.
I'm sorry. It's like there's thunder in the air, and that makes me drunk. Like, honestly, like if there's thunder, I'm such an earthbound hippie that it really fucking messes with my head, the air pressure.
I thought you weren't going to smoke until after.
I thought you were going to smoke weed till later, yeah.
Anyway,
you guys, absolute
thank you, Andy. I
pleasure.
appreciate it. Be well, my friend.
Take
Take
care.
it easy,
Bye.
man.
Take care.
Nice meeting you,
Bye-bye.
dude. Bye.
I'm going to go take a leak, and we got the next one.
Hey, yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. We'll call it a
like Chris has been smoking shit because your giggle sounds different.
I have
Very
a,
specific.
my back wisdom tooth is coming in. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. It fucking hurts.
Oh, that's it then. It kind
You
of
got the
hurts you,
vaping
but you
going.
kind of like it.
All right, I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. All right.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.